Okay, so let's start. Good morning, all of you. Good morning. Let's go ahead, everybody. We are in what chapter of salaries? Income from salaries. Another head of income. Yes, Celia? Fine. So what all we have covered till now? Quickly tell me. Section 15 have we covered? Section 15, 1.5. Audio is okay. Everything is okay. What is section 15? Charging section. Yes, Celia? है ना? And what does it say? When is salary taxable? Tell me quickly. When is salary taxable? What basis? Due or receipt, whichever is earlier. Due or receipt, whichever is earlier. Clear, Lilia? So you have covered those cases also. If the salary is due at the end of the month, or the salary is due on the first day of the next month, or next month, that also cases we have covered. All right? Fine. After that, what have we covered? Anything else have we covered? Nothing. Very basic, no? Yes. We have seen arrears of salary, part-time salary, tax-free salary, foregoing of salary, that we had seen director's salary, partner's salary, college lecturer paid by college lecturer paid by university. That also we have covered. And which head of income, those cases we have covered. Now we come into another important part. Okay, that whatever salary we have, salary is taxable from this head of income. Pay attention now. Are divided into three parts. Okay, 17.1, 17.2, 17.3. Clear? Salary, perquisites. It is not prerequisite, it is perquisite. What it is, why it is, that we will see in some time. And lastly, profit in lieu of. In lieu of means what? Instead of salary. Yes, tell all of you. We'll go ahead. All right. So, we were in our textbook. Let's go ahead. So, what does 17.1 bacho overall covers? Our regular normal basic salary, isn't it, bacho? Regular normal basic salary, 17.1. Check everybody. What kind of definition is it, bacho? Means or includes? It is includes, bacho? So it is a wide definition, wider definition. What all it has? Wages, any annuity or pension. What do you mean by annuity? I want normal meaning of annuity. Come on. You had that concept, that's why I'm asking you. Everybody. No? Everybody of you, tell me quickly. Annuity, but what is the normal meaning of annuity? Annuity means what? Fixed sum of amount paid or deposited or received at fixed intervals. Fixed intervals, fixed amount. That was the concept of annuity. We have done now in time value of money foundation. Correct. Same amount or similar amount at least, but at the fixed intervals like EMI. Your equated monthly installments, your loan repayment, they're also annuity. Okay. Anyways, so the person is getting any form of annuity or pension. All right. Again, because of employer-employee relationship, gratuity. Again, it is paid after retirement. Any fees, commission, perquisite, or profits in lieu of or in addition to any salary or wages, any kind of bonus, etc. Any advance of salary, any payment received in respect of any period of leave not taken by him. Leave salary. Leave salary means what? That also we will do later on. Okay, there are lots of concepts, but lots of concepts. Okay, so don't worry. Leave salary. Leave means holiday. The portion of annual accretion. Accretion means growth in any previous year to the balance of the credit of employee participating in recognized provident fund. We'll see all of this. Right now, we'll just focus on the basics of salary, very basic salary, HRA, etc. Bonus, commission, all of that. Okay, all of that we will see. All right. Basic structure we had seen. Basic structure, basic salary, allowances, other perquisites. What do you arrive at? Gross salary. And from that, what can you reduce? Your section 16 deductions. Standard deduction, then your professional tax, as well as entertainment allowance that you can reduce. I told you in the last lecture also, obviously we'll use only this head of income for the deductions for this income. Okay, income from salaries. Okay, nothing else. Don't use house property, PGBP, or any other sections. Okay, everybody. We'll go ahead. Sure. Let us look at some deductions. Before that, there is something called as your allowances. Correct, Ilya? Any small example you can give me of an allowance? I want example, not meaning. Any example you can think of an allowance? Very good. DNS allowance, very good. And foreign allowance. These two were covered in your syllabus till now, correct? Foreign allowance in your chapter number 2, residential status, you have seen. DNS allowance we had seen in CA Foundation, index numbers. Yes, Celia? Fine, Celia. And both of it, if you remember, there is an employee, he receives income from salary, and one of the part of his salary, again I'm repeating, one of the part of the salary is allowance. Understood or no? Okay, so there will be many allowances which you will see. But the thing is, what do you mean by allowance? Okay, just write in a notebook. This is for your understanding. Allowance, I'll give you a couple of meanings. Okay. One is normal meaning, means what? Something is allowed. Allowed. Allowance means what? You are allowed. So it is allowed. So normal meaning is something is allowed. Something is allowed. Okay. However, pay attention. From salary chapter point of view, okay, from salary chapter, income from salaries. Normally, we will take the word allowance as it is some part of the salary, okay? It is component. Component or part of the salary, okay? Given for specific purpose. Given for specific purpose. Done till here? And however, there is also one of the, you can say, word which will be repeated in another chapter. That is PGBP chapter. But PGBP chapter meaning is again very normal meaning. That allowed. Okay. What is the meaning? Something is allowed. Something is allowed. Fine, Delia? Can I go ahead, all of you? So this word allowance will repeat many times in salary chapter as well as other chapters. So it will have different meaning in the chapter of salary. See, normal meaning is still the same. Something is allowed on a regular basis. But generally in salary chapter, we take it as a part of salary. Okay. And other chapters, we take the meaning as something is allowed. So allowance, or there can be exactly opposite word, antonym, disallowance. So allowance will take normal word allowed. Disallowance means disallowed, that is not allowed. But for salary, what do we take? It is a part of the salary. Means what? Pay attention. If at all you get a chance to see somebody's pay slip. Have you heard of the word pay slip? Have you heard about your pay slip? Tell me. Payslip. Payslip again is a document. It is given by employer to employee on monthly basis. What do you think, Bachu, the payslip has details? What do you think? It is given for which month, that is given. Then name of employer, है ना? Name of employer. Then I'm writing here employee details. See, I'm writing obviously very rough or raw format. Okay. What did I say? Employee details. Correct, Elia? This payslip, very good. Designation, very good. Designation. At what status or what level he is working. Correct. Then for which month? Because in India, what are we paying? Salary on monthly basis. So for which month the calculation is done? Another important point. Number of days worked. Is that important or no? What do you think? Obviously, yes. The salary will be calculated on that number of basis. Yes, till here. Then this is just a basic information. Then you have to go to the main two parts. Okay. Understand now. I'm writing here receipts. Or you can say income. And here you can have some deductions. Okay. Okay, everybody. Yes. Now the salary, bacho, that is now important. Let us say if anybody tells you the salary is 20,000 rupees. If anybody tells you the salary is his or her salary is rupees 20,000 per month, it is not just one single amount. That amount of 20,000 is broken up into many pieces. It can be. Check. The first and foremost is always basic salary. Okay. Then there can be bonus. There can be commission. There can be house rent allowance. Then conveyance allowance, etc. Remember your DA also, dearness allowance. Remember that? Understood or no? That bacho, this will be your in a way bacho gross salary. Understood or no? Gross salary earned. I say earned, not received. Earned. And then we have deductions. First bacho will be very important. TDS. Tax deducted at source. Okay. Did you understand a little bit concept of TDS? Tell me. Do you remember? We had discussed that a little bit, 1 or 2 times. TDS. At source itself, you deduct a tax. Means what? Pay attention. Again, just quickly go through it very quickly. Okay. Don't worry much, but in salary, bacho, who pays who? Employer pays to employee. Clear till here? Now understand simple. Whose income it is? It is income of the employee. Clear till here? Who should pay ideally? Who is the assessee? The employee bacho will be assessee for his own income. Simple or no? The employee will be assessee for his own income. So he is receiving the income. He should pay the taxes and he will file his own income tax return. But the government doesn't trust all these people. So it says, no, we don't trust you that you will calculate and pay taxes. Therefore, whoever is giving you payment, we are telling him, we are authorizing him, or we are forcing him to deduct the tax. Which tax? This person's tax at source. Means what? Just for the sake of example, if the gross salary, the salary to be paid to employee was 100, the employer will not pay but 200 now. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. Employer says, okay, on this amount, your tax liability, on this amount of your income, the tax amount is rupees 10. So in cash as such, how much is paid? 90 rupees is paid. What about the 10 rupees? Where are those 10 rupees, bacho? Those 10 rupees, bacho, are, you can say, deducted by employer. The money is lying with the employer. But is it his own income? Is it his own money? No. There is bacho tax component, hai na? And this tax bacho will go to government. Yes or no? Who will send it? The employer will send this 10 rupees to the government. Okay? But on whose behalf? Employee's behalf. That means this 10 rupees sitting with the government or lying with the government is actually belonging to him. Employee. But sent by who to the government? Employer. Why? Because employer has deducted the tax at source itself. Source means where the income is getting generated. For the employee bacho, the income is getting generated with employer. So at the source, the tax is deducted. Understood now, all of you, the basics? Tell me. Can I go ahead? All right, let's go ahead. Okay. So TDS is there. Then there is professional tax reduced. It is paid to the state government. Then there can be employee, state insurance corporation, contribution or fees, insurance fees. Okay. So there can be some other kinds of your deductions. All right, Elio. So they are net deductions. And ultimately, this will be your net payable. What is net payable? This gross salary minus deduction will be the net payable salary. I am showing you all of this just to tell you that there are various components of salary. Clear, Leo? Not just one single amount. So I hope you understood the story of allowance. Again from chapter of this also. What? Salary chapter also point of view. Hai na? Clear, all of you? Clear? Should we go ahead? All right. Okay, let's go ahead, everybody. So I hope this part of allowances is understood. You have understood. Okay. Then we have some deductions. Okay, section 16. Ready, everybody? Check. Allowable, permissible means allowed deductions. 16(1)(a), 2, and 16(3). Professional tax. 16(1)(a), standard deduction. Did we have under 24(a) also? House property. Tell me. We had under house property. How much was it? 30% of NAV. Clear? Correct. Here also standard deduction means fixed rate. But your rate is not given, an amount is given. Here, but your rate is not given, an amount is given. Okay. Understand, bacho, this deductions we reduce from where? We reduce it from gross salary. We reduce it from bacho what? Gross salary. This is bacho your gross salary. Okay. Okay, tell you all of you. Chalo. Check. What is 16(1)(a) saying? Standard deduction. Standard deduction. Check. A standard deduction of rupees 50,000, 50, or amount of salary before calculating the deduction, whichever is lower is allowed. Simple. It is like rebate, bacho, rebate. Like rebate means what? Deduction up to rupees. Up to rupees 50,000 is allowed. Means what? If my gross salary is 2 lakhs, my deduction bacho will be what? 50,000. Isn't it? With deduction, standard deduction. But if my gross salary is 30,000 bacho, then what will happen? My reduction will also be bacho reduced by maximum 30,000. That is whichever is lower. Gross salary or 50,000, whichever is lower. Understood? Next one. Entertainment allowance. See, I'm repeating. The allowances are given for specific purpose. So we'll think, sir, why entertainment too? Why the part of salary given as entertainment? See, especially it is also given only to government employees. You use that income for different expenditures. You are using that income for different expenditures. And one of the expenditure is what? Personal expenditure. Traveling, touring, snacks, etc. Similarly, if you are a government employee, if you are what? A government employee, there is a possibility that you may have to do lots of meetings. And that is also what you're going to incur expenditure for that. So to compensate these expenditures on meeting, that part of salary is called entertainment allowance. All right. Check. Allowance is bachcho income. Understand that. All the allowances are what? Income. Na? Foreign allowance, daily allowance, constituency allowance. Remember that. They are all income. But here we are discussing what now? Deduction. Okay, so check. Very important. Enrollment allowance. It is first added in the salary and then later deducted. You will be like, sir, then what is the purpose? It is allowance, it is income, add in the salary. Then we will take properly as deduction. Okay. And later can be deducted only by, but check now. By government employees, that is central and state government employees only. They can, for them only, this part of salary is to be reduced. Which one? Entertainment allowance. Okay. How much but? To the extent of lower of. My goodness. Check. Rupees 5,000 or 20% of basic salary or actual entertainment allowance received. Okay. This is what, bacho? Actual amount received. Okay, if you want, you can write normal pencil, by pencil. Fine, Delia. So first add in the income and then reduce. How much reduce? But lower of 5,000 or 20% of basic or enrollment allowance actually received. Yes. What do you think, but purpose is the purpose of writing this? Actually received. Enrollment allowance actually received. It means, bacho, the deduction cannot be more than the income. The deduction, bacho, cannot be more than the income. Pay attention. If I received 100 rupees as entertainment allowance, received as income, in my income, I can't claim deduction of 110, impossible. My entertainment allowance received itself is how much? 100. So it cannot but to exceed what? 100. Clear till here? That's why we put this point. Actually received. Understood? But check, it is to be compared with 3 figures. Okay, everybody? 5,000 and then 20% of basic or enrollment allowance actually received. Now amount wise or monetary limit wise, what is the upper limit now? Upper limit. You will not never ever get deduction more than rupees 5,000. Is it possible? No. Okay. So these 3 things you have to compare, and then whichever is lower of these 3, you'll be allowed what, bacho? Deduction for entertainment allowance. Okay. Then check 16.3. PD, professional tax. That is, bacho, again generally paid to your state government. Okay. For doing business in the area. Check. Star mark here. Star mark. PD, but PD. Deduction is allowed only on payment basis. Only on payment basis. Accrual, no. Clear? However, if PD is paid by employer, then it is included in the salary as perquisite and then allowed as a deduction. Okay? Pay attention. Paid by employer. I'll take for some time later. See, I'm writing a state government now, okay? Then there is employer and then there is employee. Pay attention. Did I show you the payslip just now? Payslip, everybody. We have seen the payslip just now. And in that payslip, we saw one of the deductions as what? PT. PT was what? Professional tax. See, I'll tell you, even the employee is supposed to pay rupees 2,500 per month. Okay, 2,500 per month. Sorry, not per month, per year. 2,500 per year as professional tax. Again, same thing. The employee is not going to take out the money and pay by himself. So this duty or liability, or you can say responsibility, is put on the employer. An employer is told that you will reduce rupees 200 per month normally, okay, because it is 2,500 per year from the salary and pay to the government. Clear till here, everybody? Just like TDS. All right. So actually the PT is paid, professional tax. Then deduction is allowed. Now check. If I talk about the PT, it is getting deducted. While making payment to the government, while making payment to the employee, whenever employer is making payment to employee, he'll reduce PT, professional tax, and then he will pay the PT to the government. Clear or no? Are haan ya na? Professional tax. Clear till simple? Fine. Then what are they talking about the second point? What do you mean by the second point? If professional tax is paid by employer, means what? It is paid by employer. It is always deposited by employer only. It is deposited by employer only. But then they are saying it is also paid by employer. Means what? Means bacho. Very good, Mansi. Very good. That's what that answer I was expecting. That means bacho, it is not deducted from the salary of employee. It is not deducted from the salary of employee. But still professional tax is paid on employee's behalf to the government. Then you will say, now, who has actually borne the cost? Borne the cost means who has paid the amount from whose pocket? Employer has paid out of own pocket. The professional tax. Clear till here, all of you? It was whose liability or amount to be paid? Employee had to pay it. But it is paid by employer. Is it a benefit or no to the employee? It is a benefit to the employee. And this benefit, bacho, is called as perquisite, or basically any benefit given to the employee is called as perquisite, which is also taxable. All the benefits given to the employee are taxable normally. Okay. So PT paid by employer on behalf of employee out of employer's own pocket is a benefit to employee. Therefore, that part of income, that part of money will also be added in the income of the employee. Clear till here, all of you? We'll go ahead. Next one. Allowances. Star mark here. You should always know these things. Different types of allowances are given to employees by their employer. Different types of allowances for different purposes. Generally, allowances are given to employees to meet some particular requirements, like house rent. There is a uniform allowance, so house rent allowance, uniform allowance. Conveyance. What do you mean by conveyance? Extra amount, no. Very good energy. Traveling, correct. आने जाने का खर्चा. Traveling, correct. Okay. Then, under income tax 961, allowance is taxable on due on receipt, again, whichever is earlier. Same concept like your salary, section 15. Just tell you, due or receipt, whichever is earlier. Check now. There are allowances which are fully taxable. That means even if you receive it in your salary, it is fully taxable. Then there are some which are fully exempt for some of them. And then the remaining are which are partly taxable, therefore partly exempt. Or other way around, you can think of it as partly exempt, therefore partly it is taxable. Clear? Read this table, bachcho. Come on. Just read the types of allowances. All of you. हो गया पढ़ के? Can we go ahead? पढ़ा सब लोगों ने?
Done, sir.
Okay. Check now. What are allowances we have? Fully taxable and exactly opposite, fully exempt. And remaining between them is what, bachcho? Partly taxable. So use common sense. If my allowance received is 100 rupees, exempt is 40 rupees. So what does it mean? My taxable allowance becomes 60. Simple or no? Okay. Taxable allowance becomes 60. Correct. So if it is partly taxable means it is partly exempt. Simple. Always. Ratio, what ratio it is exempt, what ratio it is taxable, that we will see later on. Depends from again rule to rule. Okay, everybody. We'll go ahead. Chalo. So just star mark here. First one and second one. They are fully taxable. There is no exemption given at the source of these incomes. Okay. No exemptions given at the source of this income. Overtime allowance, you work more than the time required. For that, you are paid extra salary, fully taxable. Star mark fourth one also, very important. Fixed medical allowance. Okay. What do you think, Bacho? Every month, whatever expenditure you may have, even that will be for to compensate for that. You are given a fixed amount in their salary. That is also fully taxable. Okay. Then servant allowance, project allowance, tiffin, lunch, dinner allowance. If it is given in the part of salary, allowances are about to given in the part of the salary, then such allowances are fully taxable. Then city compensatory allowance to meet increased cost of living in cities, fully taxable. Okay. Any other cash allowance, warden means helper, non-practicing allowance, and interim allowance. Whatever these your allowances are, they're all fully taxable. Yes. And then what do we have? Fully exempt. Check. Allowances given to the High Court judges. But was there any some allowance exempt to some high party? Member of Parliament, remember? Member of Parliament and member of state legislature. Some allowances were exempt, if you remember. Medical allowance, again, it is given to depending on employee and employer. It is generally given to everybody, generally. But it is now fully taxable. Keep that in mind. We'll go ahead. Then, correct, I had asked you about it. Member of Parliament, state legislature, daily allowance, constituency allowances were exempt. So allowances High Court judge exempt. Allowance paid by UNO exempt. You know? That is by judge. Some duty allowance granted to High Court or Supreme Court judges. Some duty but was snacks only, snacks. Okay. Again, they have, like I said, lots of meetings to be attended to. So all that extra expenditure which they have to spend on for all the people meeting them, that is called as sumptuary allowance. And allowance is granted to the central, to the government employees outside India. Remember this, outside India. $10,700. That is what which allowance, bacho? This is your foreign allowance. Very good. An allowance received by a teacher or professor from SARC member state. Okay. Finally, all of you. South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SAARC, SARC, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. I think somebody else. Question number 30. Ready? Star mark. This is your first basic question, that's why. And over the writer. Entertainment allowance. $16,200. Mr. Goel receives following emoluments, means amounts, during the previous year ending 31st March 22. Or 22 or 23, 23. No, 22, 23. Basic is rupees 40,000 per year, let us say. Okay. Just add one more zero actually. 0, 0, 0. Okay. Add 110. Okay, everybody. Medical expenses reimbursed 25,000. Pay attention. Mr. Goel receives the following amounts. Is he Mr. Goel is employer or employee? All of you. He is but employee. He receives now. Okay, all of you is employee. And in his salary, what all parts are there? Basic, DA, commission, enrollment allowance, and some benefit is also given to the benefit. Medical expenses reimbursed means what? Goel spent rupees 4,000. Not 4,000, 25,000 somewhere, and the money was reimbursed to him by the company. Clear till here? Professional tax total paid by Goel is rupees 3,000, out of which 2,000 was paid by his employer. Mr. Goel contributes rupees 5,000 towards recognized provident fund. He has no other income. Determine his income from salary for EY 23-24. If Mr. Goel is a state government employee or a private company employee. Is there a difference between private and state government? Tell me. Yes. Because only the state government or central government employee, only they get the deductions of entertainment allowance. Again, remaining it will be fully taxable. The deduction under section 16 will not be allowed to all of them. It is allowed only to the government employees. Okay, everybody. What is asked? Driven income from salary. Ready? Write down question number 1. Question number 30. Case 1. State government employee, correct? Write down. Computation of. Income from salaries. Of who बच्चों? Of Mr. Goyal, है ना? For AY 23-24. Okay. Particulars rupees. Ready, बच्चों? We'll just add all these incomes, whatever are the part of his salary, you know, because we have seen in 17.1. 17.1 but talks about lots of types of salaries, है ना? So write down. Basic salary 4 lakhs or basic pay also okay. I have changed the numbers, but you add zeros over there. Commission. ₹1 lakh. Entertainment allowance, very important. How much? 4,000, right? Clear, Delia? Now, what benefit has he got apart from his regular salary? What benefit he has? First one is some medical expenditure reimbursement. Yes, Niraj, tell me.
सर इंटरटेनमेंट टैक्स में हमारे पास वो रूल है ना कि लोअर ऑफ 5,000 20% ऑफ बेसिक सैलरी एंड एक्चुअल इंटरटेनमेंट टैक्स, तो उसका कंपैरिजन नहीं करेंगे अपन?
Tell me what?
सर इंटरटेनमेंट टैक्स में हमारे पास वो रूल है ना कि लोअर ऑफ
deduction 16.2 deduction, na?
Yes sir.
Deduction. We'll take deduction from which amount? After which amount?
सर 20% ऑफ बेसिक सैलरी 5,000 रुपए, नहीं तो
I agree, that is a calculation, but that amount we will reduce from which figure? Correct, Mansi?
ग्रॉस सैलरी.
Yes, gross salary. First, you have to arrive at gross salary, na then. है ना? After it is not like exemption at source. It is a deduction. This difference is I told you, exemption is at source. Deduction is later on. So here that 62 is also deduction. Correct? Not an exemption. So we'll reduce that from gross salary. Understood? Tell me what benefits the employee has got. First one is what? Medical expenses reimbursed. What is the second benefit? There is one more benefit. Kushbu answer. What is another benefit given by employer to employee? Read the question. Benefit I'm talking about. Very good, Mansi.
2000 का प्रोफेशनल टैक्स.
Yes, Indrajit, correct. Yes, Kushbu, correct. Yes, Nitin, correct. Okay. The liability was total 3,000. What I'm talking about, PT, professional tax. But out of the 3,000, 2,000 is paid directly by employer. So benefit of 2,000. Whatever benefits is happening to the or giving is given to the employee, that has to be added in the income of the employee. Yes. Sorry. We'll go ahead, everybody. So now that is called as perquisites. That is called as what about your perquisites? Write down. Add. Okay, first one, perquisites. First one, medical expenses reimbursed. How much reimbursed? 25,000. है ना? Second, PD paid by employer. How much will take, bacho? 2,000 or 3,000? 2 or 3? What do you think? All of you answer. 2,000 only. We are just adding the benefit. The liability of employee was 3,000. Employer has paid 2,000. So benefit received to employee is 2,000. So add 2,000. Any other income remaining? Mr. Goel contributes to 5,000 towards against provided fund is different thing. That is right now not our headache. Okay. What do we arrive at? Gross salary. How much? Give me figure. $81, 681. Right, Ilio? First, what do we reduce? Standard deduction, correct. Done. That is one thing. Second, what do you have? ED, na? Amendment allowance. Correct, Ilio? It is now but exempt to the least of the following, isn't it? That is the law, na? It is exempt, but to the least of the following. Exempt, huh? First one, rupees 5,000. है ना? Second is what, बच्चों? %20 of basic. Basic is 4 lakhs, na? I am taking here 4 lakhs. Correct? Yes, tell you. Third, actually received, है ना? He has received बच्चों how much? 4,000. Yes, tell all of you. What is least among the three? 4,000. Yes, tell you. And third is which one? बच्चों professional taxes paid. How much is paid by him and in totality in his name? In totality, बच्चों 3,000. He has paid in cash 1, but in his name paid how much? 3. Can you see the impact now? What impact? How much did you add in his income? 2. How much are you reducing? 3. So effectively you are reducing how much? 1. And the 1 is corresponding to the amount which he has paid actually. Yes or no? Yes? I'll go ahead. How much is this income from salaries? $681 minus 57. 24. But on case 2. If Mr. Goel is private company employee, correct. Deduction will not be allowed. No? Right on. If he's not a government employee, isn't it? Then deduction under section बच्चों 16(2) will not be allowed. Yes, Leo. Therefore, income from salaries will be how much? How much? All of you. Tell me. Deduction will not be allowed. Which deduction will not be allowed? Only entertainment allowance deduction will not be allowed. That's it. Deduction will not be allowed. Here we have taken the deduction of 4,000, isn't it? So reduction of 4,000 not allowed. That means in the figure of 624, you will just add back 4,000. 628. Yes or no? Didn't understand, Nitin? Okay. Check. What is the law? We are talking of deduction. See, there are two things: allowance and deduction. Allowance is income. Huh? Okay. Entertainment allowance deduction. Check this. 16.2, where it is. You will get first of all deduction, or the concept of deduction will come only if there is entertainment allowance in your income. This much you agree? Hai na? So whenever the income, entertainment allowance income, first we have to add in the salary. We have to add in the salary. Are ha ya na? Everybody clear? However, check na here. Are you getting my point? Why does it fully taxable? There is a difference between exemption and deduction. So whenever you get entertainment allowance, add in your income an entertainment allowance. Add. Clear? When can you reduce? You can reduce as per 16.2. Okay, here entertainment allowance. Now this 16.2 deduction is available to which type of employee? Deduction is available only to government employees. Clear? Yes. So in our case number 2, he is now a private company employee. Yes. Is he a government employee? No. Will he get deduction of entertainment tax of this 4,000? No. Remove it from the picture. So if I remove 4,000 from the picture, what happens? Very good. 6,28,000. Got it? Khushbu, Indrajit, Vansi. Good. So income from salaries will be rupees 6,28,000. How? 624 plus 4. Yes, Tilio? Done? Understand now. How much entertainment allowance I had received in the question? Received, 4,000. Okay, Tilio? We have also seen normally in section number 10. In section number 10, your exempt income chapter. Okay. Exemptions generally do not exceed income. Exemption cannot be more than income. If you have received 100 rupees, if you have received 100 rupees, and let us say agricultural income, will you take exemption of 110 rupees? No, your exemption cannot be more than income. That is a very basic thing. So whatever allowance I have received here, DA, enrollment allowance, etc. Enrollment allowance I have received how much? 4,000. So in any case, my deduction cannot be more than 4,000. Understood? Deduction, or you can say exemption also. Exemption cannot be more than income. Write down. Very important point. Write and under by a red ball pen or at the top of the notebook. Yes. That is one point. And another very important point. There can be no loss. In any component of salaries. Have you heard any time before? You're doing a business, you may have a loss. Yes. Income from house property, can you have a loss? Yes. Have you heard somebody doing a job and he's saying, in job, I am having a loss? He has to pay the employer. Imagine he is working with the employer and he has to pay the employer negative salary. Possible? No. What loss you can have in this chapter of salary? Nothing. Never ever. Not a single component, but you can have a loss in the chapter of salary. That's why we say, but the income from salary is a pure profit. Okay, there can be no loss in the chapter of salaries. Clearly, all of you? Oh. No, that is salary still accrued. Unicast company. The question is, employees are employees of a bank or something, no? Correct? And the bank became bankrupt. Salary could not be paid. Is that loss of salary? Now, loss here means what? Something negative over the income. The outflow is more than inflow. That is the meaning of loss. You have not received a salary, that is something like unrealized rent or arrears of salary. But you earned it. What did I say? Earned it. Earned means accrued. Section 15, salaries, what does it say? Accrued, that is accrued or received, whichever is earlier. Accrued, taxable. So this is a problem actually, what you have highlighted. What have you highlighted? That if the salary is accrued, but not paid by the employer, still he has to pay the tax on the same. Isn't it? Tax liability will arise on the employee still. Hai na? All of you understood or no? Let us say salary shown is rupees 20 lakhs to the employee, 20 lakhs 20, but not paid. He is working for entire year, and for 1 year the company has not paid salary. He is working, he is earning, that means what? Accruing, but he has not received in cash. Are you getting my point? That is but what? Still taxable in the hands of employee because he has earned it. Fine. I was thinking to take only till your right now till your only. आज के लिए इतना ही मैं सोच रहा हूँ मैं. Hmm? I wanted to take you 130. But I'm having a very heavy head. I'll just take a nap or something. Okay. Just put me recording. For your homework, I'll give you. See, today's lecture I'm taking till here only, but pay attention. This we have already covered, okay? 10-17 we have covered constituency and daily allowance, daily constituency allowance and daily allowance of parliament. That we have covered. Okay. For your homework, read this and come HRA. Okay. 10-14, 10-14-1 and 10-14-2, both. Read and come this also. Basically, till this 17-2 just before that, just read and come. Okay. Then I'll later on go ahead in the chapter again. Fine, everybody. Read and come even if you don't understand fully, but still read and come. Okay. That's it for today then. Okay. Please read the theory and then come.